Ntandla Mkhwanazi, yeah, Ntandla Mkhwanazi. He must be the commissioner of police, that guy, or anyone similar to that guy. I told Becky Tele when we were in that place where the whites were trying to destroy a police station. Senegal, where it was me and Mkhwanazi came, I said to Becky, this is the guy who must be a police commissioner, not these things you are offering to us all the time, who are driven by corruption and not to protect the streets and protect the integrity of the uniform. Go and look at Ntandla Mkhwanazi. Even his posture. The uniform, not the make cover. Ntandla Mkhwanazi, when you look at him, you see a man in uniform who's disciplined, who's determined to deal with crime in South Africa.
Mkhwanazi is a hero. For a man to go outside the established protocols to do what he did was to put his body on the line. That's what a man does. Whether you agree with him or not, it doesn't matter. But he played a very, very important role in exposing the rot, and it is our turn now, as a country, not as politicians, to deal with this matter. The country must pay a closer attention. One, that Mkhwanazi doesn't get victimized. Mkhwanazi's contract is coming to an end in December. If anything, they must advertise that post now. And then he must reapply and get reappointed again, so that he can finish this tax. Thugs, I don't mean those criminals. I mean these ones we sit with here in Parliament. Our problem starts here. Yeah. Mkhwanazi must arrest from here. But if we allow this thing to go and Mkhwanazi's contract is finished, they're not going to appoint him. Because they all say Mkhwanazi, Mkhwanazi, praise him, Mkhwanazi, Mkhwanazi. At the corners, they don't like the man. Or you, this one is going to lock us up, all of us here. If they love Mkhwanazi and they think he's playing an important role, advertise the position so that Mkhwanazi can apply while he's still there, because it's coming to an end. That thing takes, 3 months or even more to get appointed into that responsibility. We are at a point where we cannot afford to lose Mkhwanazi. We are at a point where we cannot afford to lose Mkhwanazi. Somehow, he needs to be retained into the force. And somehow, he needs to be elevated to a national responsibility. Because KwaZulu-Natal has become too small for him. Western Cape needs Mkhwanazi to come and deal with these crimes that are supported by DA, funded DA by money of drugs and gangsterism. That's why they can't deal with it. You think this thing is going to eat the ANC alone? Even the DA is going to be shown in those things. Because we're not only looking for Sibiya or Masemola. Any rot of the police must come. Anyone with information must come. And those are the people we must protect. So we are happy that the process has started. We sponsored that view. They fought against it. Those journalists who are in Parliament will tell you in that police committee, our DSG has been in the forefront of ensuring that this matter is dealt with in a manner we've done yesterday. And we're very happy that it is now given a green light, and then we'll deal with these matters. Well,
why we support Lieutenant General Ntandla Mkhwanazi of KwaZulu-Natal. We will never allow these criminals of the ANC to destroy Mkhwanazi, the police commissioner of KZN. They are doing so because Mkhwanazi is going to arrest all of them. I'm actually told that Mkhwanazi was about to arrest the Minister of Police. That's why they charged him, so that they can destabilize him on his position. We don't have to harass Mkhwanazi. We have to protect Mkhwanazi and protect every policeman who fights criminals toe for toe, like Mkhwanazi is doing. South Africa should never be a home of criminals. South Africa should be a peaceful home. Here in Sharpeville, our children must be able to walk the streets of Sharpeville without being scared of being raped. We want another Mkhwanazi in Sharpeville. We want another Mkhwanazi in the Eastern Cape, in the Western Cape, in the whole of South Africa. We need committed policemen like Mkhwanazi, and we as a nation must protect the good police because they will look after us.
A few moments later.
I think we must make one point very clear. That we're not going to be told by Mkhwanazi what must happen, what must not happen. If we are looking for him, we have to find him. And if he's not going to make himself available, we're going to have to summon him. He's the one who started this mess. And he's going to have to take responsibility. He's not going to tell us about commission this, commission that, and all of that. We don't know what commission is doing. We are not interfering with the commission, and the commission must never interfere with us. So, Mkhwanazi must be summoned to this committee. This ad hoc committee, it's established because Mkhwanazi took his own time to say the things he said, and is not going to tell us now that he's not available. The same way he was available to appear on TV with guns and everything else, that is the same way he's going to avail himself to this committee. He needs to be called, and the sooner we call him, the better. And if he's not responsive, you must summon him. Because we must not create an impression that people can just play over us. If we start on this note, we're not going anywhere. That's what we're discussing in the terms of reference, that people must not have an impression that they can choose how they want to do things. You must know now, the commission has to start. He has set certain allegations which led to the establishment of this committee, and he has to appear before this committee. And we want our own sworn statement to our committee. It doesn't make any material difference.
Sure, Mkhwanazi, welcome back to SA Political Lens. Today we need to talk about something that raised our eyebrows. Julius Malema's sudden U-turn on Mkhwanazi.
Yo, John, this one is suspicious. Just the other day, Malema was Mkhwanazi's biggest supporter. But now, at the latest committee meeting, he turned brutal, saying Mkhwanazi started this mess and he must own up. But how can a whistleblower be blamed for starting the mess? That's not making sense.
Exactly, Sarah. The only issue was that Mkhwanazi has a commitment with the commission, so he couldn't attend the committee at the same time. That's perfectly reasonable. It's not like he's refusing to appear. He's just not available on those dates. So what warrants Malema's aggression? Yo, something is fishy.
And here's where it gets interesting. Malema didn't sound like a man supporting transparency. He sounded cornered. We have to ask, did he find out his name is in those dockets? Or maybe one of his funders is? Because that sudden shift feels less like principle and more like panic.
Yeah, Sarah, and we mustn't forget, Malema is no immune to shady businessmen. Remember Adriano Mazzotti, the so-called tobacco kingpin, director of Chimalinks? In 2014, he admitted in an affidavit to tax evasion, smuggling, bribery, the whole package. Later he said he came clean with SARS, but his name still carries weight in the underworld of illicit cigarettes.
And the link to Malema is clear. Mazzotti funded the EFF in its early days. Julius himself admitted Mazzotti contributed money to help register the party with the IEC in 2013. The EFF defended it, saying the money was clean, but let's be honest, that connection has always raised eyebrows.
Exactly. Over the years, every time the EFF takes a position on SARS or tobacco, people wonder, is it really about policy or about protecting funders like Mazzotti? This is why Malema's sudden hostility towards Mkhwanazi should worry South Africans. It doesn't look like leadership, it looks like fear.
And that's the point. Malema is no different from Zuma and the Guptas or Ramaphosa and his white handlers. Different faces, same game. Protect your funders at all costs. So when a whistleblower like Mkhwanazi gets attacked instead of supported, South Africans must pay attention.
Yes, Sarah. If Malema is willing to throw Mkhwanazi under the bus, it tells us whose side he's really on. And South Africans must insist. Leaders like him should be excluded from these proceedings. We can't let compromised politicians police corruption when they're knee-deep in it themselves.
Sharp, John. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Different scandals, same political theatre. Mzansi, stay sharp, because when our so-called leaders start turning on whistleblowers, that's when we need to ask the hardest questions.
That's it for today's episode of SA Political Lens. Until next time, keep questioning, keep challenging, and never let the spin fool you.